Man, I just realized I need to update all my slides. Hi, everybody. Welcome to another episode of Breaking the Block. We do every other Sunday now just to give ourselves a little bit of a break. But I will allow my co-host to introduce themselves. And then I'll come back around and introduce myself. And then we'll get into the questions and discussions that we will go through. If you have any questions or discussions that you want to talk about, pop it in the chat and we will get to it. So, Sako, you want to go first?
Okay. Howdy, folks. I'm Sako Toomey. I write horror under the name Cass Voight. If you want to know more about me, really, because I wear a lot of hats, and I have monetized most of my hobbies. So please to be Googling me at Sako Toomey or Psycho Sako, and you'll find all my stuff. My Substack, my DA, my Instagram, and maybe my Facebook. And drop a line sometime. I would love to hear from you. Oh, Mama, you're muted.
I knew that. And I tapped it thinking I unmuted myself and it didn't work. Okay. Hello, lovelies. I'm Mama Maggie Ward, independent author, stroke survivor, migraine overcomer, and one of the more prolific writers you've never heard of. This month I released The Huntsman's Hope, which is the last book in the Relic of Time Wars massive sci-fi fantasy Sword and Planet series. I'm looking forward to the All the Words August break that I'm going to be doing. Starting on August 1st, we will be doing a writing challenges, 18, 28, and 80,000 words. But All the Words August is not a word count challenge. It's a routine challenge. So we are also offering 31 days, 21 days, which is the weekday writer, and 10 days, which is the weekender writer, so that help you build your writing routines for the upcoming autumn and winter writing season.
My favorite seasons. I'm Lauren Nettles. I write things. A lot of horror, some dark academia, some spicy things, I guess. Yeah, I am here. I have to go to work, so I can only be here for an hour. And then, yeah, I'm here. I'm excited.
I am Rach, or Rachel D. Adams, as my author name is said. I write all kinds of stuff, but mainly paranormal romance, urban fantasy, and how-tos, and any kind of guides for other authors. So you can find me at racheldadams.com, and then just use all the pretty little button links to get to everywhere else.
Nice. So, welcome to my channel. I am writer Sam Wicker. So, I've only got this much out of my coffee cup so far, so bear with me. I write romancy, and the spice levels range from anywhere between 2 peppers to 5, 10. And yeah, I've got 6 books published. You can find them on my websites and everything. I will be popping in everybody's links into the description box as we go. And let's pop into the first question. Well, actually, let's say hi to everybody first. And Rachel pulling double duty. We got a cat paw. Hello. Maggie also pulling double duty. Eva saying Laura. And that she missed you. And hi back to you. And Rach saying hi to everybody. And yes, the peppers. All peppers. All right. So now, the first topic we have. This has been kind of popular on TikTok here recently. Are authors excluding readers by using SAT/. complex words. And keep in mind that the average American has a sixth grade reading level.
I think it's fourth grade now.
Is it
Third, so I just came from a writer conference, and uh, the reading level has been dropped to third grade.
Are you serious? Holy cow. Okay, I'm gonna put that.
When I did my research for the question, they were saying writing levels. The average American was a sixth grade. Average American literacy was a sixth grade level.
Mm-hmm.
That was based on last year's end of school year statistics for 2025.
There, we'll put it that way.
Yeah. Yeah, we're not being ableist and exclusive by using pretty words. I use apoplectic and apricity in all of my books because those are my favorite two words. And this is a terrifying. The thing is if you have Kindle on your phone or you have a Kindle device and you're reading through Kindle and most e-readers will do this. If you tap and highlight the word, it will give you the definition of the word. It is not that hard. If you see a word you don't know what it means, you can tap on it and go, oh, okay, and then just keep reading. This is terrifying to me. And it's not just like books that people actually physically read. They're saying the same thing about audiobooks. And I know Sako's about to have, and I'm buffering right now. I've been buffering literally on this because you all know me. I'm always talking about language is a living thing. Language is constantly training. I mean, when I was a child back in the 70s and stuff like that, we didn't have the word Xerox. That was not a word.
Photocopy.
That was a company. That was a company that was developing, and they made photocopies, and they became so prolific that it literally became a verb and a noun.
Same with Googling.
Googling
became a verb.
So my view on this, because I write adult books and I use adult language and SAT words or complex words, I trust my audience to be able to read my books and enjoy them and understand what it is I'm trying to communicate. The general populace is not going to like my books. I am aware of that, and I've come to terms with it. But it's... How do I put this? I feel like it's the average, right? So there are people who read at a lower level, and there are people who read at a higher level. And there are really smart people out there that maybe my stuff is boring to them. And the lower end is gonna look at the first chapter and be completely lost. So I look for that, like Goldilocks level of audience, and have been very fortunate.
Well, it's terrifying to me because we're talking about almost 50 million people, adults in the United States, are functionally illiterate.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, how can you even navigate? I mean, you can't read signs, you can't fill out paperwork, you can't, and And the other side of this is they're saying between 50 and 60% of Americans cannot read at a junior high or high school level.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, we're a country of 350 million people. That's 175 million people cannot read at the level of education that our federal government has mandated. And it's, I don't, I under, you know, okay, I'm about to get in trouble, and my opinion in no way reflects the opinions of anyone else in this panel. I hate Fourth Wing. I hate all of those books. I hate the characters. I hate the writing. The smexy time scenes aren't even that good. And if you're so obsessed with smell, see a therapist. I understand that this is a super popular book, but it is, and it's like, oh, it's an adult book. It is an adult
It's
book,
not.
but
Is
it
it?
is written at the level for 10-year-olds to read. I wish I was joking. When I DNF'd Fourth Wing 5 different times. I tried. Over 2 years, I tried to read this book. But it was like I was reading a children's book with adult themes, and all I can think of was, oh, yeah, let's target children with these themes. Also, there was the whole appearing, disappearing disability thing that made me twitchy, and the mocking of food allergies that made me twitchy. But that's by the by. The problem is the reading level of the book was so low. And I can understand why it was constantly being shoved into YA. And it wasn't because of the content. It was because the reading level of the book was written at a YA or lower level.
So I have a couple thoughts.
It's all, I've seen so many books coming out, especially since like 2020, since the pandemic, that are written at this much lower vocabulary, writing style, reading level. And I don't want to come off like an elitist. I don't want to be the author that the TikToks were saying these people are. But then again, I'm like, there are some reading levels that should not have sexualized content in them. And then this comes out and you realize that it's not the reading level, the sexualized content in the reading level problem. It's the reader comprehension level problem and
Right.
the complete and utter failure of our education system.
Laura, you were going to say something?
So there's also the whole thing where a lot of readers grew up with YA and they want to stick with YA. So they're trying to do crossover appeal, so it's upper YA kind of thing, where it still feels like a YA to appeal to that audience who has aged out but still go back to read it, I think is kind of what's happening there a bit.
Wouldn't that be NA? Did we lose NA?
In traditional publishing, there is no NA.
There is no NA. And new adult is more like college age, young professional literature.
Okay.
Yeah. Not 18-year-old dragon riders normally.
I just remember the 10-year-old I had to go talk to his mom because he was reading Game of Thrones before people knew what Game of Thrones was. And I'm like, oh, it's not dragons. It's not Anne McCaffrey.
It's not Anne McCaffrey.
Tamora Pierce. Yeah. But also, I was watching videos that were critiquing this critique, and they were like, okay, so you want to make a standardization of what words can be used that aren't ableist because most people know them. Well, what if you know the word, but somebody else does it. Does that make you ableist? Like, where's the line? There is no line you can draw. It's so
I agree.
subjective to you, your reading level, how you were raised. Did your parents read to you? Like, that, were there libraries in your school or in your town? Like, it's so subjective. Also, like, Gen Alpha can't read. Like, that whole thing is going down the toilet, where students are given a MacBook when they start first grade. And so they get in the habit of doing text to speech and speech to text. So they don't have to read, they don't have to write. And so literacy is going down the drain. It's just terrible. There was a article that came out that I read for my media literacy class a couple weeks ago, where a college professor had a very tough class where normally only a certain percentage would pass the class. And he decided to do it online and have like the take-home midterm. And the average grade of the midterm across the board was 96%. And he's like, something's up. So he decided to do an in-person handwritten final. If your grade was comparable to your midterm, you keep it. If not, it gets tossed. Because everybody was using AI to complete their homework. Like, nobody is actually thinking and comprehending and reading original text. They're doing AI summaries, like the new version of Cliff Notes and Spark Notes. Teachers are being told to have students read excerpts from novels instead of entire novels nowadays because they just feel overwhelmed. Students are complaining when they're asked to write 5-sentence paragraphs. There are viral videos of students writing sentences that include the word silhouette, and their fellow students cannot read it. They have no clue what's going on. There was an article where they go over the intro to, I believe it's Bleak House. It's a Charles Dickens novel, where it's just the opening sentence, opening paragraph, and they ask people to translate it to modern English. Like, what does this mean? What is it saying? And
Right.
the majority did not understand the imagery. They thought it was literal, that there were dinosaur bones in the mud, and not that it's like, oh my gosh, people just don't read critically and comprehend anymore.
So they don't go over simile and metaphor enough.
Yes.
Yeah, my youngest graduated 3 years ago when ChatGPT was just starting to get really, really big, and their final assignment was take one of the parts of the first act of Hamlet, of a Shakespeare play. Hamlet was the one she wanted, but it was others. But take one and write it in a modern context.
Sure.
2 students passed. My daughter and one other student passed that assignment. Everyone else in her English class, and this is an online English class with 90 plus students, 2 of them passed for not using AI the whole semester.
I was, when I was in college around the turn of the century, I've always been a writer. Ever since first grade, I've been writing books and stories and papers and stuff like that. So I took this topics in film class, and the goal was to watch a movie or a pair of movies and critique them. And so we had to do 1 page, 1,000 words, and I was the only one in my entire class to have done the homework. And these are college-age kids, and I emphasize the term kids because it's the 13th grade, right? And the 13th grade isn't just in college. It is also these 45-year-old women who are being nostalgic for A Wrinkle in Time or Never Ending Story or Twilight. And they hamstring themselves and they don't grow as people unless they challenge themselves. And I am not going to facilitate the cozy horror mentality because the reading level goes down and the horror level goes down, and I'm not gonna support that.
I just, and this is me being a child of the 70s and 80s. My nostalgia is things like, the unbearable weight of the unbearable weight of lightness, and Under a Tuscan Sky, and Eat, Pray, Love, and the Joy Luck Club. Those are my nostalgia stories. Do I love Anne McCaffrey? Am I like one of her biggest fans and like own like multiple copies of all of her different books because each book has like 8 different covers? Yes, I do. Do I have an entire bookshelf dedicated to Anne? Yes, I do. But to me, she wrote at a high school writing level. She wrote at that older
Audience.
YA level, the top end of the YA level. And kids nowadays, they can't read her books.
Mm-hmm.
They don't understand them. And I'm like, I was reading these books when I was 8. I shouldn't have
I
been
was
reading them
reading.
that young. Because of some of the topics in them, but I was reading them at like 8, and this horrifies me. And like my brother, he has he struggles with his dyslexia, and so he doesn't like read paper books, but he consumes 5 to 10 audiobooks a week with his job as a truck driver.
Oh, sure.
And he purposely does not listen to them on fast speed.
I don't either.
And he but he and I talked last time we were hanging out. He talked about the issues with feeling DNFing a series of books because he felt like he was reading books from like junior high. And so it's in all the genres right now. It's science fiction, it's even military fiction and things like this. And so and the idea of reading YA language in a spy thriller,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I read a YA murder mystery. It was called The Westing Game. It was on my middle school shelf. It was great, but it was geared towards middle schoolers.
Yeah.
But I have this book that I recently read called The Salt Grows Heavy by Cassandra Kah. I hated her first book, Nothing But Blackened Teeth. Great premise, terrible execution with the characters. Anyway, this one was better. But it is a short novella, and it's about a mermaid and a plague doctor. And I didn't even know some of these words. And it was like, I had to look them up. I was like, I didn't know the scientific term for this part of your lip, between your nose and your lip. I didn't know the scientific term for a religious text that has been erased and rewritten over physically. Like all of these words that are very niche that I did not know. And so I was looking them up as I was reading it physically and had my phone looking up definitions as I was reading. And I still enjoyed it. The characters were better done in this one. I have a favorite sentence in this book where where is it? Let's see. There it is. My sisters are alive in these nocturnal fantasies, colorless, resplendent, their hair floating like a frothing of wedding veils.
Ooh.
Like, isn't that beautiful?
That is a beautiful sentence.
Like, they're
I love how
mermaids-
poetic
they're
that is.
mermaids in the ocean. They're mermaids in the ocean with their hair frothing like wedding veils. I'm like, yes, please, thank you. Like,
I
I would
have
keep this
been
book.
reading a horror book by Werewolf Story by a friend of mine, and the language is definitely adult. I don't have to look anything up though, but it has been so long since I have read a book that actually like garnered my attention. Like there are favorite sentences, there are I make notes. I make notes regarding like prose that I really like, and I send it to the author.
Yeah.
And he is grateful for the critique, and that relationship with the book is getting rarer and rarer among all Americans.
Well, as someone
I have a notebook of favorite quotes from books I've read.
As someone who spent 10 years relearning language and still looks up words to make sure that the definition in my broken brain is the definition that I need for the situation I'm using it in, I guess I don't understand why people are so offended by having to do this.
I don't understand.
I mean,
like, Laura,
I might be special circumstances. I mean, the most concession that I have made in my writing is to cut down my giant 250,000, 300,000 word books into trilogies and quartets. So they're about 100,000 words each. They're not like, everybody loves a good Brand Sanderson, but a lot of people look at that and they
intimidating.
The intimidation factor keeps them from picking it up. It's like, if I tell you Relic of Time Wars is 1.4 million words.
Well, you're too
exactly, Jenna. It's too much work. People like to be in their little
the
comfort zone, and if they stretch, cars work, and that is uncomfortable. You don't want to be felt like they are less than and that they are stupid because they don't automatically know it already.
They don't want to be taken out of the scene to look anything up, and yet a lot of the same people will say, "Oh, well, I just scan read." I'm like, well, if you're just
I just read the dialogue.
I don't read series. I don't read series, and I won't read a book more than 150,000 words.
And I wonder how much of it is that they don't want to read rather than they can't read that level. They just don't want to read.
They want the tick box of I've read it. They want to have that fulfilling of like, yeah, I'm a reader.
The dopamine hit of finishing a book.
They want
it's trendy.
A competition they want to be instead of a pleasure.
They want to be part of the book talk culture without the books, which is why all the people with all the fancy sprayed edges books, have like hundreds of beautiful, immaculate sprayed edges books, and they've never read.
Well, I'm like with Elizabeth Wheatley. I'm like, how is it that you don't have stuff all over your hands? Because that's a thing for me. Like I'm abusive to my books sometimes because I'm getting into them. If I've got a paperback,
I love that about paperbacks.
So
I hate cracking spines. I try to not
I
crack
love
them as I read them.
I love them. I love it. It's abuse, but I'm reading that book, man.
And sometimes I'll bend the cover along the back as I'm reading,
Yep.
I'll underline stuff, I'll highlight stuff, I'll make notations.
Okay. Okay, everyone send your emotional support vibes to Laura.
We're making her cringe like hard.
I was at summer camp and we tore a book into 3 pieces so that 3 different people could read at the same time.
Yeah, no, I can't.
My mom did that with her sisters.
We love you,
My mom did that with her sisters. But the only books I write in are my writing craft books. I will read it through once, see if I like it and want to keep it, and then I'll read it through again and highlight and annotate it. Because if I don't want to keep it, I can donate it a clean copy.
Sure.
Yeah, I also keep little notebooks like this with all the kind of notes and stuff in it. But that doesn't mean I don't abuse them. I do abuse them sometimes. So
Yeah. So
I think it's my OCD.
when I go to a bookstore, right, I don't read the back. I don't read the first page. And some people will frown upon
Do
me
you
for
read the
this,
last page?
but I crack the spine and I read the midpoint.
Okay. At least it's not the last
I
page.
read that page. And if I'm not interested in what's going on in that scene, I don't pick up the book. Because I hate sagging middle syndrome. I refuse to. I absolutely refuse to read a sagging middle.
Okay, back to what Eva said about readers don't owe authors anything. The reverse of that is authors don't owe readers anything. We don't owe them dumbing down our work because they played on their phone in class.
yeah, my characters are written as products of their environment. So some of them are going to be very academic. Some of them are very, very just basic when they talk. Some of them have slang. And if you don't get into that, then you're not my reader. You're not my audience. So that's one of the things that I did right from the beginning is I tried to play I want everybody to like my books game. And it doesn't work. It does not work. So, don't dummy. I as an author or an indie author, I would suggest not dumbing down the books. I suggest not taking things out of books. Leave them as you want them to be left, and then find your audience. But that's just me.
Yeah, the whole entertainment world is shifting right now on all levels, on all forms. I mean, Markiplier, who is a YouTube celebrity and gamer, he topped out at the box office last month. Was it last month? His independent made film beat all of the Hollywood blockbusters. All of them.
It was decent. I saw it in theaters. It's called Iron Lung, based off of a horror game that he fell in love with.
And so entertainment is changing. I think everybody has. I think a lot of people have done what, like, some of my neighbors have done, and just stopped reading because they were tired of getting the same book over and over and over and over again. Which, for decades, if you read like genres like the Harlequin romance clubs and all of those, you were literally getting the same characters, different
Hallmark
locations. Hallmark Channel, at every Hallmark movie. What is the the spreadsheet of 10 Hallmark things that you can pick anything from these 10 lines and 3 columns, and you will have a Hallmark movie?
Yeah.
That's one reason why I'm so rubbed the wrong way of reading Save the Cat, because everything is formulaic nowadays, it feels like. And so it's like, I don't want to, or it's romancing the beat. It's one of those two. And so everything is following a formula. But also, back to Maggie's point about how all things are changing, the TV shows that are on Netflix and stuff are now being dumbed down to where it is a simple to follow plot that they reiterate over and over again because people are on the phones at the same time, so they can follow what's going on while they're only half or a quarter listening and watching it.
Boo.
So screen rating is taking a dive.
Yeah. just highlighting some of the comments because there were a lot while we were discussing.
Yeah.
We get to all of them.
I caught very briefly something about the Sako method, but I don't know what they meant by that. But
where you find
Writing to your, I think that was
Find your
writing. We were
audience.
talking about writing to your audience.
writing
And
to your
not-
audience, yeah.
And some people are not going to
I
be your
just-
audience.
I feel like the rest of the populace isn't going to be entertained by my work. You know, like I can't make my husband read my work. And
My
he
husband's
reads
never read
and
any
he
of my
reads
books.
Warhammer, right? So the language is just above above YA, right? So it's simple. There might be a word or two you might have to look up because the context is different, but it's a simpler like series of books, and they're supposed to be bingeable. And I don't write bingeable. That's too much work.
Yeah, it's
this right here. I also get excited when I have to actually look up a word.
Me too.
So yeah.
I look up words all the time, but that's because my
Yeah, you're still in the throes of
my brain will never be okay.
your
I'll always.
vocabulary.
I was editing Cards on the Table, and I had to look something up to verify that I wasn't remembering the meaning of the word wrong, and I was remembering the meaning of the word wrong, and I had to fix it. I had to find
Sure.
the correct word, which
Sure.
sounded very close to the word I pulled.
You meant Skinamax.
If I don't know what's happening, the author failed you?
So that's the whole thing with, I learned a lot of words growing up by context. That's how I learned the definition of them. So this is
Context
what you
clues. I remember that shit.
So
Yeah.
if an author inserts a word, $5 word or whatever they're called now, and you can't grasp what it's saying by the context around it, then the author might have failed you a little bit because, they just it's like they almost inserted it just for brownie points.
It's like if you don't know what this piece of skin right here is, like Laura was saying, then you have to look it up. But if the context is something around the mouth,
Mm-hmm.
then you know
area.
The context was they were cut from here to here. And I was like, I don't know what that first here is. So I looked it up.
Okay.
Yeah.
But the main thing is that they're cut. And that's the important part. So the context
Cut
works.
enough to die. I just didn't know how long of a cut that was.
So
it's mostly USA. It is US
enough,
culture.
most of our readers are US. That's what gets me. It's like most of my readers are USA, but this is also going on in the USA. So we're still getting readers, even though we're using $5 words here and there.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
They got the money to spend. They just got to do it.
They just got to do it. Yeah.
I think.
Well, there's also
and like I said, it's if you don't know what a word, you're reading on Kindle, you don't know what a word is, all you do is tap it and it will give you the definition immediately.
Inflation. I'm looking at the comments, so I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Mama Ward just posted a thing about like the.
Yeah, I grew up in the generation where it was 10-cent words. They were called 10-cent words, and
$5
then
words.
by the time I got to college, they were calling them 25-cent words.
They're
And
I think they're $10 words now.
$10 words now. Okay, so they've inflated from my $5 word era.
Yeah.
I'm in the $5 word
they're
era.
minimum wage words now. They're minimum. What you get for an hour of minimum wage is what you had. Yeah.
Hmm. Yeah. The last time I looked up the reading average of other countries, I know now this was 5 or 6 years ago, mind you. I was going to do it for the question today, but I brain. Um, Australia was kind of on par with the United States, and it seemed like a lot of the middle Eurasian countries were. Britain was a little bit higher than us, as were France and Italy. And I
Yep.
think everybody else was kind of here and there.
Hmm.
Well, here's the other thing. In the comment right below mine, what Eva says about authors using a word that doesn't fit the scene. There was a thing a few years ago of authors salt and peppering in words that college level words into a YA book, and the words and they were getting a lot of criticism because they were putting in words that did not fit.
Oh, yeah, no, that's not good. I agree with that.
Yeah, that's not.
Yeah, I've known an
My
author or
my
two. I've known an author or two to do that. Just sprinkle in SAT words to make them sound smart. But for those of us who actually know what those words mean and what context they should be used for, like, it's
Yeah.
it's
And there's
not
something
stomachable.
there was
See,
something that came up earlier about traditional authors versus what you can get away with as far as that's concerned. But also, like to Maggie's point, when you read some of the stuff in a traditionally published work, you're going to find stuff that we are told is elementary. We're told not to do it. What? That's a data dump. What the hell are you thinking? Why would you do that? I dare you to read the beginning of some of the traditionally published books that are making millions of dollars. If that's not a data dump, I don't know what is. And
Hmm.
they like literally will name off names and places, and the person that's reading is supposed to remember all of these connections that your main character has, and it all was dumped in the first 3 paragraphs.
I can't, and I
So
DNF books like that. I have to
it's
admit.
like, come on.
Um,
So it all
how
depends on how you're published too, and what you can get away with and stuff.
Yeah, how crunchy is the plot? Like, how many POVs are there? And I've read some fantasy. I've like beta read for some fantasy, and we're talking like 10 main characters. And I can't follow all that. And especially when they do a scene and from the perspective of like two characters, and then the next chapter is the same scene from the
Okay, that
perspective
I
of
have to do.
other people.
I don't want to see the
And
same thing written twice.
I don't want to see the same scene written
Mm.
twice.
But that's a me thing. Like I said, there's lots of people
It's a
that
me
are.
thing. I absolutely. I am very hard to entertain because I write what I want to see in the world. And if they don't reach that bar, I'm not invested.
Yeah.
Cinemax, yeah.
You know, yeah. Those of us who grew up with that.
I grew up reading
So,
Tolkien. Yeah.
um, yeah, I'll admit the first book in our series has a data dump at the beginning of it, but again, first book ever published. So we were kind of just doing what we knew to do, but it's also telling the story and setting the idea of this person, our main character, being depressed and having all this stuff on his mind, and he's overwhelmed. So then the reader feels a little bit overwhelmed by that, and then it
And
goes into
that's
a
kind of the
sequence.
point,
So
right?
but when you're talking about somebody, there's a type of data dump that is just like straight up data dumping that I'm like, whoa, okay, let me take my notes now. And I'm
Lore
like,
dumping, yeah.
but it's not just what I meant was, it's not just the data dumping, it's also what we're talking about in the language stuff. You know, like they will get away with certain things that indie authors are called out on when it comes
Yeah.
So,
to.
Dreaming Truth writes kind of like I do in that her world building, and like there is no need for data dumping, right? Because her characters interact with the world around them and only describes the world in that context.
You both
And
write this very experiential world building. So it's not like here's the world building. It's like this person is living through the world building.
precisely.
It's
As long
very
as you're
interactive.
consistent, that's all that matters.
Okay.
Okay.
Do we want to hop into another question and
Yes,
Laura
please.
answers first?
I have
Oh, go ahead.
I have one more
Comment?
caveat to this. So I do enjoy beautiful, more poetic, slightly purple, maybe purple
Maybe purple
prose
prose. Me
in my
too.
novels.
And
Yes,
lavender.
but the thing is, it needs to fit the voice of the character. There's a character voice and there's an author voice. If it is actually how the character would think and feel, go for it. If it's not how the character thinks and feels, maybe reassess and write from the character's voice. That's my only caveat.
Yep.
100%. Yes.
100%.
I was also going to play a little bit of devil's advocate on the last question too.
Yeah.
Technology has come a long way,
Mhm.
but it is still limited in helping certain demographics of people, like the blind, those who are in a vegetative state as well. So often they don't get the ability to look up the word as they're reading, because often they're listening to it on their tablet or something and they can't see to tap the word or something like that. I know voice commands have come a long way and sometimes you can do that, but that's a little devil's advocate thing there. So, yeah.
Team Stark in the comments makes a really good point. What if the person that you are writing is smarter than you are?
That's always tough. I have the Wikipedias open. I have the dictionaries open. I
Me too.
have all of those open so that I can research
CB,
all their
Me
lines.
too.
CB does so much research
Yeah.
for her
She-
Tony Stark character.
Really
Yeah.
does. Hi, Jocelyn.
Hi, Jocelyn. Yeah.
All right.
Okay. This
Fun.
next one is something that the question is something I stumbled across by accident and had this what the F moment. I immediately sent it to Rachel and Sam, who also had a what the F moment. And
I think everybody in the chat had the one that
did.
so this woman who's an author was talking about her and her husband's romance story, and she said to him, what if you had the chance to go back to when we were 18? And he was like, I would find you immediately. I would stalk you till you loved me. I would be that guy who was there every day with gifts and snacks. And they were laughing about it and joking about it.
Things that he knows she loves.
And about, how this would be a story. So this guy whose girlfriend is a fan of this romance writer took the idea concepting, put it into Chat GPT, and then sent her the novel.
Oh no.
I already did all the work. Here it is. Just buff it up and polish it. And then when everybody went, what? She had a what the F moment. And I mean, she blew up on it. She didn't say any names, but she just talked about how offended she was. So he
was
outed
actually pretty
himself.
mild on it, to be honest. She was very nice.
She was, at first she was very, very mild, and then in subsequent videos she started getting madder and madder and madder, and this guy doubled down. And this guy doubled down against like Pulitzer Prize winning authors and New York Times bestselling about, well, AI just makes writing so much easier. I don't know why all of you are doing it. So you can put out a book every month without people having to wait a year or two for your book. He doubled down on it. And it wasn't until her husband sent him a message and said, look, dude, you need to stop. I just want to have a cup of coffee in peace in the morning. What you did was wrong. Creativity and writing is a lot of work. And then the guy was like, oh, I'm sorry for upsetting your wife. He like completely dehumanized her into a piece of furniture. And that's a whole nother thing. But here's the thing is, we all talk about what we're working on, what we're tropes. What would your reactions be if someone said, I heard you talking about this story idea, so I put it into AI and here it is. Now you can just write it in your own, you can just tweak it to your own voice and publish it next week.
Okay, so I just came from Imaginarium last weekend, and there was an author there that was handing out her books to people. And it turned out that it was AI, and the illustration, like the written portion was AI, the illustrations were AI, and people were throwing the book away. So I don't think that the AI book is going to gain any traction, because other people who read at a level a little higher than YA are frowning upon it. And CB using Chat GPT for grammar gets a little dicey, because it's much simpler grammar, and I don't know if that's your goal.
Well,
this
writing aid and autocrit are pretty good about, higher levels too. And
yeah, I agree.
So
the thing about this story is there's so many levels to it. It's not just take AI out of it. Let's just go take AI out of it. It's just the audacity of somebody to hear an idea that is based on someone's real, actual life and how they would react if something changed in that life. And it was their idea. They were going to do it. And then he had the audacity to take it, do it himself, and then be like, here, you can do it now because I've made it better.
Yikes.
I did it faster.
You can publish it now. I've already
done all this for you, so we can't wait to see it now. What? That hurts. If I were her, I would be hurt by that. That would upset me, because it's like, I wanted to do that. That's the reason she said she didn't even open it, because she's just like, I want to do that. This is my story. This is my idea. Me and my husband came up with this, and it's special to us. And you just basically shat all over it.
Yeah.
What you did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
then for him to double down on it, like, no, I made it better. And if you're not going to publish it, I'm going to publish it.
Yeah, and I don't know why, the whole, I don't know why other authors don't do this so they can publish more efficiently. He kept bringing up the word efficiently.
He seemed like somebody that was very, very set on efficiency
He's
and
a very
technical
technical-minded
stuff
person, not a
and not
creative-minded person.
creative minded. So
Let's let Laura put her 2 cents in because I know you got to go here soon,
oh yeah.
and I don't want to miss
I
your
do.
thing.
I have taken inspiration from certain elements of stories people have told me about their life, and given them to different characters, but they're like a couple sentences. It's
Not a
not
whole novel.
I'm taking your life story and AIing a novel. No, it's I think that this little tidbit that you told me would fit this character really well, and so I'll sneak it in. But like it's totally detached. It's changed up a little. Um, yeah. So I I despise AI. Um, yeah. I just feel like a lot of people are getting accused of writing AI when they don't, when they do use the bigger words
Yeah.
because they sound more literate. And AI is trained on books that
Classic.
were literate. Yeah. And so it's trained on books from bygone eras that were of a higher reading level. And so when it produces things of a higher reading level, it makes us seem like maybe we were using it because it sounds similar. And so there's this whole AI witch hunt going on as well of is it AI, is it not AI? Um, is it partially AI? Did they leave the AI writing prompts in the text itself?
Oh my gosh, the senators.
Seen that?
That was
Um,
so bad.
Mm-hmm. Can't get away from that one now, can you? Mm-hmm. Proof was in the pudding. So I don't know. It's just I like taking inspiration from people that I've talked to over my lifetime, but I also am writing with my own creativity, my own world building, my own characters, um, and I'm not trying to make a quick buck. So I'm not doing writing as a get rich quick scheme with AI to just push out 200 novels a year. I'm actually doing it because I'm enjoying the writing process. Writing is learning. You have to learn grammar or word definitions or sentence structure type of things and literary techniques like similes and metaphors, onomatopoeia, all those things to grow as a writer. And so I'm learning, I'm growing, I'm not relying on a tool that was trained on somebody else. Um, and so I feel like I'm growing as a person as I grow as a writer. And you don't really do that if you are using AI whole cloth just to write, I
Yeah.
think. You are a director, you are not a writer. You are directing the AI. So
Yeah.
that's my 2 cents.
It's almost like taking credit for the person that you hired to make a commission or do a commission for you.
Exactly.
Like, I gave them this prompt, this character to do, so I did that art.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah, no.
No.
Oh, it's like with my dragons. It's like people say, "Oh, do you do that?" I'm like, I gave the artist the idea and the preliminary sketch, and then he actually knows what he's
Fleshed
doing,
it out.
and he
Yeah.
did it.
Translated the work into a full-fledged
Now I
image.
have a little dragon that's also a little bit like Stitch and got the big eyes and everything, and everybody knows it. So, but that's not my artwork. It's somebody else's artwork. So I make sure I give them credit. So it's just like but if I went and said, "Oh yeah, that's mine," and I did it all. No, no, I didn't.
Mhm.
No artist would ever work with you again, ever.
I don't get a lot of credit.
On my
Wow.
Relic of Time War books, I took my very, very, very bad photoshopped covers and ran them through a filter.
Mhm.
that clicked non-human artist, and I ran it through the Leonardo filter to change it into the image I wanted. And people were like, oh, this was just, and I'm like, I can show you the pictures that I smooshed together to create this picture. And I
Yeah, that's
don't
not
hide
a
it from
problem.
anyone. I say in the front matter of all of my books, it was like cover images is photoshopped pictures run through Leonardo AI filter to create a set style of filter
I gotta
because
go.
I wanted them to look alike,
See you.
and I don't have
Bye.
$1,500 to throw onto cover art.
Mhm.
But it's I don't know.
I work for
This
trade.
whole thing was just, it was like,
It was so many layers. I had to watch it 3 times, Maggie. I was like, "Wait, he did what? Wait, he said what?" Because it was like misogyny. It was so much. I was like, dude. We'll have to get that link for everybody at some point because that was a roller coaster ride.
Yeah,
that,
I popped it in the chat.
yeah, it's, and
There we go.
you know, there's all these like Andy was saying, you know, that they're just, people are mass dumping these books, and Amazon is at least doing something. They're pulling down like a few dozen mass market AI accounts a week. They are trying to do something, but that, I mean, what good does that do when you have the Barnes and Noble president saying that he'll sell AI books as long as they make money?
Mhm.
Um, it's, and the bad thing is like we've all seen the ads, how to make money on Amazon, make thousands of dollars a month on Amazon using AI to write your book. Like these ads are all over YouTube, and they have been for years. I mean, it's, I just, I feel sorry for this girl. I feel sorry for her. I feel sorry for her husband because
I feel sorry for her husband, I have to say.
he's done
Describing
with
the
this
husband that
guy,
has gone through
and it was like this guy
my
was just,
rant.
he just would not stop poking at her. It's like you know, one of those type of people that just like keep poking at someone they've already provoked to see how far they can provoke them.
And I don't know, just his reaction to those. I mean, it's like, okay, dude, you're not even giving yourself time to reflect on what people are
He wasn't.
saying to you.
He was in full defense mode.
Yeah.
He was mansplaining to a romance author.
He was mansplaining to Victoria Alvarez. I mean, come on. No, I could, yeah. I wanted to research and find him and be like, okay, I'm going to his house. Who's coming with me?
Honestly, after all of this, I'm wondering, does he still have a girlfriend?
If I was there, no.
He showed his true colors, man. I was just like, wow.
Yeah. Like,
But
no.
here lately, the internet, especially TikTok, has been interesting when it comes to people showing their true colors and then everybody going, "You what?"
Yeah.
I'm confused as to what Ava is talking about after
Towards the bottom.
Laura's link. Like,
Stalker level creepy. Yeah, it did seem like that because I mean, who pays that much attention to a creator enough to think that it's okay to present them a present of their own
That's
story.
a good point, honestly, because I'm just like,
Well,
yeah,
he was
why
Like
would
a
he
he
get
was
something?
stranger?
doing it.
Or
He did it so his girlfriend, so he could buy the next book for his girlfriend. That was the thing he said in one of his things.
Oh, so
Is
he was trying to do
he was
something
trying
to
to get
get
points
brownie
with the
points.
girlfriend by forcing her favorite author to publish a book that he wrote in AI based on a story she thought about.
Yeah, no. And another stalker thing that he did was every time she did a video about it, not even naming him or anything, he was quick to reply, quick to be in the comments. I mean,
yikes.
Yeah, because there was a couple of times that she kind of ended it. Like she was like, okay, this is my opinion, and now let's just move on.
Yeah.
And then he came right back. So that's
He was like I said, he seems like one of the people that likes getting that DEFCON 5 reaction out of people and just keeps poking at them till he gets it.
well, we should send him out there with the bear.
One of the
Please don't poison my bears. The bears had a hard winter.
Hey,
The bears had a hard winter. They didn't have a winter this year. You know, they determined that like 3/4 of the bears in Colorado did not hibernate this winter.
What?
Because the winter was so mild.
Oh, they're gonna be so grumpy all year.
We've had bears in neighborhoods since February. And like the bears don't even care anymore. They don't care. They haul them off. They tranquilize them, haul them back into the forest, and the bears just come back down because there's no food up in the mountains. It's so dry, and the winter was so warm.
And this right here is a very good point as well.
Nothing is original.
Yeah.
Nothing is original.
And everybody has their own experience with things. And there's also a way that you can approach this without getting someone hurt over it. Like in the Bella Earth Witch, I have a lady who has MS. And I based her off of my sister, or I wanted to. And I went to my sister and said, hey, this is what I'm doing. This is how she's going to read. Are you okay with this? And she's like, yeah, go for it. That's all that's needed. Question. Ask permission. if you think
the worst they can say is no.
Exactly. And then you go with another plan. You go with another idea.
It's like the idea of sensitivity readers when we were diving deeper into LGBTQ territory, that we were familiar with it, but we weren't absolutely sure about it. I got friends in the community to look at stuff and be like I was like, tell me no, or tell me yes, or tell me, hey, you need to change this, that, and the other. When it came to a lot of our relationship writing. So, so that's it's just a matter of respect, you know? Yeah. And if it's something that's general, I get it. Like I'll write about Southern hospitality all day long because I grew up around Southern hospitality and I know what it really means. So
Jocelyn has a good point.
I'm so far behind on comments.
When I was hosting this before, I was like, oh my gosh.
Where is she?
Where am I
passionate on here?
It was a comment that you put up on screen just a minute ago.
Oh, so one of the comments I forgot to.
You got it.
Oh, come on.
Yeah, I can't
Where
find
are
it
we?
again.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, bless your heart. Yeah.
Bless your heart is not what you think it is. And oh honey is
oh
honey.
Yeah.
Not what you think it is.
Yeah.
Is that what you were looking for?
People want genuine humanity out of their content, and especially on YouTube. Holy crap.
So
But
Reedsy did a YouTube video recently about this, and it was kind of like, hey, what we think is going to happen when it comes to AI and stuff like that. And that was one of the things that they mentioned, is that the weirder, the better, the more unique, the better. Because used to it was all about fitting in to get market sales and stuff. But now it's like, oh,
now
well,
it's not
we
the
want you to
case.
stand out because we want to make sure that it's a human behind the wheel.
Mhm.
And same way with a lot of the YouTube channels. There was this big push of people who were kind of introverted or that didn't want to put themselves on the screen, and they were making content that didn't have anybody on the screen. But now it's more, they're getting more views if they actually appear on the
Yeah.
screen.
The VTuber became a very, very big thing, and now it's
Yeah. Yeah. This right here. It's like with this coming out, like I had a paranoid moment, like how much should I talk about my books now? And then I'm like, you know what? You're not popular. Who cares? Not saying that it's not to dismiss it or anything. Yes, people
Right.
write about your work, but yeah.
Yeah.
I have more anxiety about the witch hunts than I do about AI.
Yeah.
To be fair, as an author, I don't like. I don't think AI should be used in creative spaces. I believe it should be used as a tool.
Mhm.
However, that being said, there's a lot more damage being done by people accusing other people and not really knowing.
Yeah.
And
well,
not really knowing.
it's I wrote a Substack article on AI writing and the neurodivergent cadence because they read very similarly, and the and people who aren't history buffs, they don't know about the Red Scare and McCarthyism, and when they were accusing everybody of being a communist to the point that people were just absolutely terrified. And this is what's happening with AI. It's, and they're like, you use AI. Well, I use AI for editing because it's non-generative AI, and you literally cannot get an editing program now that does not have some kind of AI search engine attached to it looking for grammar errors.
Yep.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And my book, The Spartan Chimera, got nominated to this guy who does fantasy book reviews. And he is rabid anti AI, and I'm not going to say his name here. And he was like, "Well, it's obvious that you're an AI writer." And I was like, "I'm like, no." I said, "Here's a picture of my daughter and her dog that was used for the front cover and run through a filter to put Spartan armor on her." I said, I use a non-generative AI. I use Word editor. I use Google editor. I do not pick what they pick. I go through and I look at it and I correct it myself, because if you pick the autocorrect, it leaves a little AI tag in your actual metadata. And it does not differentiate. People who are the AI hunters do not differentiate between generative and non-generative AI. They just see the little metadata tag and they blah. So it's very and I explained to him, I'm like, there's not a way for indie authors to get their books edited, to do that first level of editing or even writing without AI touching their draft because it is now embedded in all writing programs.
Yeah. The only thing
And
that we're trying out right now is ellipsis, but just I have to have time to figure out a new program.
Mm-hmm.
and so it's unfortunately the targeting is, you know, it's like
Okay,
I
I
seem to,
will
this
read
seems to
the
come up every 2 weeks about this this hate flu that's going around affecting everybody's brain, and it's like contagious. It's the need to hate on people.
Yeah.
It's like Karenism is now a mental fog flu that is just
Karenism, I like that.
affecting everyone, and they're just
We
like
have a new ism.
start randomly attacking a thing. And it's, I don't know, love each other, give each other grace. If somebody does something you don't agree with, it's their, as long as they're not hurting you, it's, or someone else, it's their right to do it. You don't have to agree with them. You don't have to hate someone because they do something you don't like. I mean, if you want to put peanut butter in your coffee, that's your business, but I'm not going to drink it.
Every religion, creed, moral has one rule, and that is be kind. I usually say it as something else, like don't be a dick, but every religion, every creed that people believe in has be kind as a rule. So, yeah, just stop. Oh,
Gotta go.
You gotta go. Okay.
I got a bowl.
All right.
Bye.
Have a good one.
I'm watching the power go up and down right now, and I'm like, are we about to hit a brownout?
Okay.
So we want to go to the last question real quick, or
do we want to hit it, or do we want to save it for next time? I mean, it'll be quick.
Save it for next time because this is
next time.
Okay. All right. Cool.
Because this is a writing process question.
Next time we'll do stuff on writing process then.
There we go. All right. So if you're watching the replay, leave your questions in the comments about writing processes because we'll get to them next time. All right. So y'all want to do your outros first, and then we'll let everybody go and have a nice rest of their Sunday.
I'm Mama Maggie Ward, independent author, stroke survivor, migraine overcomers, one of the more prolific writers you've never heard of, and I'm fine with that. Yeah, there have been some crazy things going on in the book talk and book threads circles right now. Just be nice to each other. The world is a loud, angry place that gets louder and angrier every day. And all these people pushing our buttons and trying to push your buttons and trying to like lure you in to get your buttons pushed. Just don't. Go sit outside. Well, don't sit outside today. It's going to be 103 degrees. But look outside from the air conditioning. And remind yourself that you know, the moon still rises, the sun still sets, the stars still turn, and the seasons aren't affected by all of the craziness going on in the rest of the world.
Grass. Go outside if it's raining. Enjoy the rain for a little bit. Get cooled down from the rain. Just like, come on.
What is this rain thing you speak of?
Well, if it's raining, that's what I'm saying. If it's raining, go outside and enjoy it because you don't know when it's going to come back. So there's that. I posted links to the sprints that I'm about to do next. And also I need beta and art readers, and I'm giving everybody sign up form for doing that for all the stuff that's going on through the first part of 2027. So if you are interested, hit that form up, and RachelDAdams.com for anything else. I'll be around. So check it out.
All right, that was super quick and sweet.
Yes.
Thank you for joining us today on another episode of Breaking the Block. We will have our next one in August. I should have had that date pulled up already, but you know what? It's okay.
I was about to say, I've had my cup of coffee, so quick and sweet.
Yeah, the 9th. So August 9th will be our next one, and we will be going over writing processes. So keep that in mind. And yeah, we'll see you then. Go to Rach's Sprints. Show her some love.
Yeah. Buy Sam's new book.
Yeah, that might be a good advertisement for me to do.
Yeah, Sam has a new book. It's very funny. It's very, very funny.
Bye, y'all.